and just enjoy the music that's in my head. It's always going. It's one of the tracks that you.
You got your coffee there still?
I finished my coffee, but
cheers.
we can do a cheers. Yeah, we can do a cheers here. Enjoying our.
Because we got nice pictures on the side of the guys.
We got nice mugs.
Here, just
give me a little bit. Okay, all right, thank you. That's very nice of you. All right, and I think 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Guess what? Special announcement. We are in the land of the free.
And the home of the brave.
And the home of the brave. Sedona, Arizona. Cheers.
We're just doing our version of afternoon coffee, maybe?
So what's up, guys? We're doing it on the side. I hope it's not too awkward for you guys to just... I don't know if you guys need to flip your phones, but it's because there's 2 of us. We got it on the side, so...
Just get myself a little out of the comment section.
Okay. As long as they can see you. They're not going to... So, okay, so we've been hanging out here. We've been in the States, I guess, 72 hours, maybe 3 days.
Dude, it feels like a month.
It feels like a month, but we've been in the States.
Every day has been wild. It's been a 3-day bender,
It's
no matter what we do.
It's been unbelievable. But this particular stream, we just want to share all the information because we're 2 Canadians who escaped communist Canada and we're in the United States. And I'm getting so many messages from people just going, how did you guys get out? You're supposed to have the injections to get out of the country. And so we just want to basically share everything that we know about the topic. Not that we're gurus or anything, but we put in a certain amount of time just researching in certain groups and talking to different people to get the information before we made our decision that for us, we just wanted to do the private plane thing out of the country. But that's not the only way. So we're just going to do a brain dump. Everything we're about to say is for entertainment purposes. But
take it with a lot of salt
and
do your own research. Like everything else in this world, do not trust us. Do not trust any guru to tell you every single thing. You got to go figure it out. And but there are some tips that we can drop.
We're definitely not escaping Canada gurus. That's
no,
for sure.
No,
definitely
There's
not.
lots of other people that have done much more interesting stuff than this. But
much more. So here's the long and short of it. Apparently, for us, the highest timeline was renting a private plane and hopping over into Montana, and then from there, life is relatively normal. So that's what we did. Partially, we knew it was a guarantee. We have a conference we really wanted to make in Sedona. Give them a plug. There might be tickets available. I don't know.
Well, maybe not, but hey, it's called Sedona Cosmic Awakening. Anyway, go check it out.
It's good. So we wanted to get in 100%. So we knew getting the plane, if it's a private airport and private plane, they're not checking the jabbies. It's not actually law in Canada. The government is just pressuring the major airlines to check, even though it's actually not the law. So the law is not being broken if you take a private plane across the border. It's not being broken. Now, entering the United States, we can just tell you this. Some places, some private airports simply are not asking people about that question. Some maybe, but some definitely are not. So we did our research and we found one that definitely isn't asking. And so we had absolutely no problems whatsoever. It was just the standard 4 questions. Hey, you guys have jobs? What are you doing here? What are you all about? It was great. There was absolutely no issues at all.
Well, another aspect is in the path that we took, we didn't have to clear Canadian side of customs. That was done by the company that hired the plane, and so they dealt with all that. We just had to send pictures of our identification, of our passports, and
where we're staying,
and a location of where we're staying.
Yeah.
So they needed to see that, and essentially that entire aspect is dealt with before even leaving Canadian soil. So there's nothing, if you get rejected at that point, yeah, maybe there's some costs incurred, but you haven't left, you haven't screwed anything up in major terms. So that was great. They cleared the customs for us before we got on the little plane. We had an amazing trip. I mean, the energy of knowing that you're doing the thing as you're going and walking on a tiny little airstrip into a tiny little plane with the pals that you wanted to be with, going to the place you knew was going to make it, and then landing on the other side and seeing a single CPB, whatever they're called.
Security,
border
agent.
The border agent.
Yeah, one
on the other side, just smiling, waving at the plane, and overhearing a little moment of the conversation of, oh, you guys again. It made me go, wow, very different timeline.
Yeah, it's you realize, like, as much as I'm like, whatever, I'm not obsessed with money, I don't need to be a billionaire. Now I understand how they travel. No hassles, no bullshit at all. Literally, get on a private plane, land, like nothing. It's so easy and smooth. Like, all humans need to be traveling like this. We need to go into a timeline where we're all just taking our own little planes everywhere. So good, so smooth. So that was just beautiful.
The flight was great. We were laughing,
So
having
good.
an amazing time. And then we landed, and it was super straightforward to get through. And then we were in Montana, which was by itself amazing. Like, that was just so great. But yeah.
So the next aspect we really want to cover is the other option was, oh, and by the way, it's not expensive. You can get, like, from Canada down there, we're talking about 5,000 Canadian dollars. It's 7 seats, so you do the math. We're talking about $800 a person if you fill up a plane and you want to get down to the States. Everyone can manifest $800. Okay, guys.
100%.
So this idea of, like, you got to be rich, you don't have to be rich. You can get $800.
Yeah, you and your friends get a group together that no one's done some sneaky shit. You gotta make sure you check your pals before you go through customs, so to speak. But make sure you got 7 homies or 6 homies that you're really happy with, and there's a weight limits for requirements for your luggage and whatnot, so you can't take tons of stuff. But get that sorted, and then there are options. So the airport that this little airline flies out of is in the Kootenays. They can go to other airports, but that becomes more expensive. So essentially, they take off from their little spot in the Kootenays. They go to wherever your little airport is, go grab you, and then they go to another little airport in this case in Montana.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there aren't other airlines around the country doing similar things, and I would imagine there are many. So go do your research and check out where you're gonna go.
Yeah. So that's
we would plug the company, but
no, they're out there. And by the way, I'm going to put all the links to resources at the end of this, so don't even worry about that. Okay. So the next point was that's really important is I guess we'll cover basically that, but I'll just cover one other point. But when we were in the United States, after that we flew. We just want to give a plug to Allegiant Air. They were epic. They didn't do any of the mask Nazi stuff, like you wear it while you go through customs, but once we're on the plane, masks down, absolutely no hassle whatsoever, and they were actually really cool. So just big shout out to Allegiant. We love you guys. Fly Allegiant Air. They're cool. That's all I have to say.
I will say that is his experience. It was not the rule. Every single human on that plane had their mask and was wearing it, but nobody came and said, hey, can you put your thing back up over your thing?
No.
Didn't happen.
No.
So that was really cool. The flight attendant we actually had a connection with at one point after the flight in the little airport where we landed. She was really cool, and she came up to us and said, hey, I really felt your guys' vibe. I wanted to chat and hang out.
She saw the shirt.
She saw the shirt. That's right, of course. Yeah. So that was an amazing experience. On their website itself, they say they do not test, they do not require negative tests, and they do not require injections or any proof thereof to fly. Yeah. All of their routes in the United States are direct, which means none of this bullshit of hopping into one town and then going somewhere else. And was there anything else?
Yeah,
great.
We just chose to spend 48 hours in Montana to get another flight directly to Arizona because we didn't want to have a stopover in a blue state where there could be some extra bullshit. That was his intuition, and that was a beautiful move. We had a great 2 days in Montana, then we flew straight to Sedona, Phoenix, Arizona, and then rented a car. So, beautiful. Okay, so the next big point is this, and we did this thinking it's the safest way for us. We definitely wanted to make the conference. Apparently, crossing in a car via land is not a problem for the vast majority of Canadians going down there. I've spoken to a lot of people through the freedom movement. There's a lot of groups out there. I'm going to share them in the links afterwards, but you have a very high percentage chance to get through when you're driving. So here's the information that we have so far, and remember, it's changing all the time. Go into the groups yourself and see what experiences people are having. But so far, many places, they're not going to even ask you about that question. If they do ask you, and by the way, I'm just giving you all the information, you use it as you want. Apparently, usually they don't ask. If they do ask and you say you've had the jabbies, they never ask you for proof. Okay? Then also, that's the information. I personally, if I was gonna do it, I don't want to ever lie because I'd rather just speak my truth. I know if the universe wants me to be somewhere, I'll be somewhere. So if I was going to drive down and they'd ask me and be like, hey bro, have you had your thing? I'd be like, no, I can't. I'm in the vaccine control group, so I actually can't get it. And there's a real control group. You can pay $20 and get the card. You want to show them the card? We got ours. So that's the website. They're super amazing. Vaxcontrolgroup.com, right? And then if you flip it over, you can see it's a legitimate card. They have, I believe, 400,000 people in this group right now. So it's really powerful to be able to stay in your truth and just say, no, I can't get it. I've got documentation to show you that I'm in the control group to see what happens to the people who don't get the shots. And they can scan it, and you're in a database and everything. So it's a very legitimate way where if you're worried or you want to have something to show, if you want to just speak your truth and say, no, I haven't had it, but I can have it, and I've got documentation, very powerful energetically where you can speak your truth, have documents, and not have to lie at all. And the beautiful thing is this, even if for some reason you get someone who's like, well, sorry, we can't let you in. If you only get banned from the United States if you lie. So if they say, hey, have you had your thing? And you say no, and then they check your papers and you don't have the papers, they'll ban you for 5-10 years for lying. But if you speak your truth, say, no, I haven't had it. If you speak your truth and you haven't had it, they won't let you in, but you're not banned. So if you try and come in another 6 weeks, 2 months, it's not a big deal. You haven't lied to them. You're not in trouble. So me, if I was going to drive, I'd rather speak the truth and use this card. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that, okay, if they don't let me in, maybe I'll get a better agent in a few weeks. I'd rather do that than take the chance of lying, being, a little bit sneaky and not getting in. Another option, that's just me personally, that's just my opinion. Another thing you can do as well is you can just easily fake you could just get somebody who's had the jabs, replace your name with their name. It's really not hard to do at all. If anyone who knows someone with Photoshop could do that, if you wanted to do it. I don't want to do it, but you could do it easily. Another important thing, for those of you who want to fly to Mexico, because we've just been talking about the United States, Mexican Airlines, there's no law where you have to have the injections to go to Mexico. They do technically ask you to show them something, but all the reports we've heard of, they just want you to show them something. So it's very easy. Again, just find any friend or anyone on the internet, anyone who's had the thing, get a copy of it, just put your name on it. They don't even look. Apparently, you just show them any piece of paper that shows that you've had the jabbies, and they're just like, yeah, great. They're not really checking. You just have to show them anything. Those are the reports we're getting consistently. So if you want to go to Mexico on Mexican Airlines, just have anything, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's what we're hearing.
Again, this is information coming from other people, so
yeah.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do that.
So we did a different thing, and that's why we want to share what we've done and let you guys decide what's best for you to do if you're trying to leave.
Yeah.
Another thing, so there's a question, is vaccine control group, the website is VAX controlgroup.com.
Yeah, we'll put all these links in at the end.
It's not expensive. You essentially pay them, I think, a quarterly or yearly fee if you want to support what they're doing, and then they mail you your identification card within like 3 days.
Ours showed up in 3 days.
It came from the UK to Canada in 4 days.
Yeah, it was insane.
I was fucking shocked. So that was really cool. Yeah, so essentially what I wanted to talk about is the idea of, if I'm going to go to a border guard at any position and they're going to ask me some question and I know there's a trick question coming or there's something in there, speaking my truth is the highest form. And so what Sash mentioned here about, yeah, you can go to a land border crossing and talk to a guy. The problem is, if there's a person there who isn't necessarily, they're all different, right? Each individual is different. Even the locations are different. So there's many different exit points across the country. And my suggestion would be, find a bordering state that has certain political, we all know what we're talking about here. Yeah, let's say call them red states for now. We had a totally amazing experience in a red state. However, we did meet some people that had come from blue states where it's basically like it is in Canada. And so, in the bigger cities, you're still going to find a lot of that density, a lot of that old energy, a lot of that fear mentality. And so if there was an opportunity to take a flight that was $100 less, but it stopped in Denver, I was going, no, not at all interested. So yeah, have a look, check it out, and yeah, speak your truth. The other part about going to a border, and I had a friend of mine do this years ago, before all this crap happened. He wanted to go at one border crossing, and for whatever reason, the people there, the American side, thought he was going to stay in the country. He had a lot of money in the bank account, had a job at Sony doing animation that he wanted to do, all the reasons in the world to come back for that job, for that date. They rejected him and his girlfriend in their camper van because they said, oh, you're going to stay in the States. Now, what they did, which was a mistake, was they just went and drove to another location and tried to enter there. They made a huge fuss about that. So be aware that if you get rejected from one location, you will be flagged. And so if you've spoken your truth and then you go an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours down the road, it is a no-no. So spend some time back in the country, relax, do your thing, understand that it's not a no forever, but you just got a no for now, and then try a different method, and I would guess that you'll be okay. But immediately crossing in a new location was a mistake on his regard, and he's the guy who even had his dad was an American. So he was totally pissed, and they didn't go to the States in the end. But this was years ago. So just be aware that, that can happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it will, but it can.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, very good. So just do your research always, and then this is another big one. Really trust your intuition, because when we were flipping back and forth between do we get the plane or do we just drive, and when we were tuning into the driving timeline, we actually got the area we're supposed to go, and we even like, we were really tuning in. We even got a time period. It was like 10 a.m. to noon, and then from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So what that means is, Spirit was basically guiding us, saying the person that you want to be asking you questions is working during these periods. So we had it really dialed in where we were supposed to go. So really trust your intuition. And there's many ways you can dial in. There's methods you can use. You can use pendulums. You can use muscle testing. There's a lot you can do to actually get very clear on how you're supposed to do it, and where you're supposed to go. So this is no joke, man. When you're really tuned in, you will know where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. Just saying, that's a lifelong practice to tune into that.
Yeah, we had a funny experience with that. We were walking around a lake, and we knew the location, and so he starts doing his method, his muscle testing or kinesiology, and I don't have that background. I'll get a very, very fast answer, and usually the first answer I get is the correct one, and the second one is me talking to myself. So trust the first bit that comes in, and on both of those occasions, the dates or the times that he got, I immediately had the first time. I didn't get the second time. I got the 10 o'clock time, and I got the 4 o'clock time. And he got 10 to 12 and 4 to 6. So there was these moments where we would be able to verify what the other one got in a heartbeat, and it was just very easy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
It was just one of those confirmations of, okay, if that's the path we're going to go, we now know for sure that that's a window that we'll get through.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was another aspect of that timeline not being as high as the one that we took, which included an expensive, in a way, flight. But it was for the best. We had the best time in Montana. It was so awesome.
Super fun. Just another really important point. This is more on the spiritual side, but really important point. If you are really tuning in to what you know is right for you from a place of love, everything is going to go smoothly and the universe supports you. If you're in the fear vibration and you're like, oh, I don't know, we need to escape Canada. Oh my God, they're going to kill us. Guys, don't be in the fear vibration doing anything. If you're really on your purpose and you're doing what you're meant to do, and you're doing what what your heart is telling you is right for you to do, you will be supported and you will be protected, and you will make it. If you're really supposed to go to the United States or some other country, you will make it there. But if you're coming from fear, right, and you're like, oh my God, we need to... You're not clear. You can't tune in a clear way to get your instructions. So do what you got to do to take care of yourself. Get clear. You know what I mean? Like whatever you need to do in your life so you feel at calm. You got relationships that aren't working. You got some crappy job. Whatever it is, you need to meditate. You need to go for a walk in the forest. You need to do some yoga. You need to stop smoking cigarettes. We all got things that we can improve on. Get to a place of peace where you're in your center, where you can tune in. Because when you're in that center, you'll know. If you're really there and it's like you're supposed to move to Bali, you will make it to Bali if that's really where you're meant to be. But if you're like, oh my God, they're going to kill us, we got to get out of here. You're not in your center and you're acting out of fear and your ego's just like, get out of here, let's run away. It's not going to go well for you. You understand what I'm saying? So really get clear on what's your mission, what's the highest for you to do, and then you will make it. That's all I'm going to say. And those of you who are just like, hey, that sounds really nice, tune in on Sundays. I usually do a live stream. It's the Sunday sermons, soon going to become the Project Love Show. But either way, Sundays, the spiritual stuff, we're going to be live streaming. So keep an eye out for it. Okay, guys? Keep an eye out for it. That was the spiritual part.
It's all good.
That was basically it. So that's it. We haven't seen any of your comments at all.
I've been watching.
Have you been watching? Yeah, is there anything we didn't cover?
No, that's every time I've had a look, and if there's something that popped up, I would mention it. So if someone asked about the website, I popped that in.
Okay.
Sedona is fantastic,
dude.
So I've been here now. This is the third time, and this guy has been here for all of a day and a half now, and we did a little bit of work at one spot this morning where we went and hung out, and that was fantastic. The vibe here is really cool. I mean, it's taken us until probably an hour ago to really be aware of holy cow how much is coming in. It's wonderful here. So if you guys do happen to be around, maybe there's someone here checking in on this live stream that is from Sedona. We would like to see you. There's an event happening on the weekend. Doesn't matter if you don't have tickets. You know, maybe there's a way we can get into contact and find one. But yeah, even come just hang out. So if anyone wants to come last minute, it's this weekend, and we're here for sure.
At least a week, maybe two.
In this spot where we're at
least a week.
until next week, Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's it, you beautiful souls. That was just our little brain dump of like, if you're Canadian and you want to get out, you can get out. Just go with God, and you'll be okay. I think it's SedonaCosmicAwakening.com is the website, I believe. But we're going to post...
Sedona Cosmic Awakening. Look it up on Google. You'll find it. It's this weekend, 21, 22nd, or 21 to 24th or something like that.
Yeah, and it's our friends. Cool. So we'll put all the links in. We love you guys. We're going to end this so it saves, so all the people can watch it. And we'll see you the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone's asking if we've used the card yet. I haven't. I have had no use for it. Essentially, also, when you walk into a shop or any of these places, if you're just having an amazing time, chances are it's not even a question.
Yeah.
You almost blow the lid off the place, and that just doesn't happen. So it's a backup. He got the message, get it. It might be useful. It was for a timeline when we thought we were driving anyway, and so it was more of a backup so that we would have something so that we could tell the truth.
Yeah.
And so if it is useful or not, it's just something that you guys
cool
might want, and it's a card. So it has a little QR thing on the bottom. It'll do that. Must not be thinged. And
when you join, you also get access to all of these private groups of all the people that are in this, and like success stories and communities. So you get to meet other people who are also, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unpoisoned.
Yeah.
So it's actually, so if you're looking to build community wherever you are, it's cool to meet people too. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome. It's a great project, and just support them. It's like, who cares?
Yeah. The one thing that is awesome too about them, and we need to do this at some point, probably in the next week, is every month they are collecting data from the participants of the study. So it's essentially going to build up a huge amount of knowledge and data about people that are in the control group. And the point of this is that those of us that have done this path are probably all completely healthy. And so over time, maybe they're not, maybe we've had certain problems. And there's even a checklist of have you been sick? Have you done this? Have you done that? So every month or so they do want you to check in and just, short, probably, I haven't done it yet, but I imagine probably 10 questions or something like that, and see how everyone's doing, and they collect that information. So
yeah. Okay, guys, it's been long enough. We love you.
If you have a question here, which is how did you leave unpoisoned, go back to the beginning of this and check it out.
Yeah. Okay, we love you guys. We're posting it. All the links will be down there. Okay, we love you. See you next time. Peace out.